mineral exchange here at Oscorp Tower. I'm a little sad that I'm not playing a 3 and then a 2 plus a 3, but getting Mojo into the vault seems valuable. I'd like to draw Ant-Man or US Agent next turn, ideally. There's definitely a matchup where having Mobius instead of Man-Thing hurts a little bit. Surprised Jean Grey hasn't reappeared since the spotlight at her release. I'm not really. Usually they prioritize giving spotlights to good cards, and she's a pretty decidedly mediocre Marvel Snap card. Or was for a long time. She might be fine with the latest update, but generally speaking, they put the better cards in spotlights to make them appealing. If that's true, then Null must be the best card. I mean, Null is a must-have card for an archetype that's consistently been tier 1 or tier 1.5 for like the last year. So yeah, Null's a pretty good card. Quick fact check, Jean Grey actually had a second spotlight a few months back. Also good to comment on. They could move the hood right and punt that location and then play hard for Oscorp Tower. Yeah, Ant-Man's a little late. Ant-Man Omega Red last year would have been great. Knowledge is power. Thank you, Spectrum. Victory. Thank you, Spectrum. Yep, Spectrum and Magneto both got voice lines in the patch today. $60K medals. We'll have to spend all those down here in a little bit.
Oh, snap.
This is lovely. Nebula creates some tension, so if they fill the raft, we'll get a big one drop is nice. Are you getting rid of the raft then? Must be, yeah. At what collection level did you become rare variant complete? I don't remember. But also what level I got rare variant complete at is going to be different for you. Because the point where I got rare variant complete, the point at which I got rare variant complete, there were less avatars and titles in the game. Sure was a lovely draw. US Agent looking pretty good here, gamers. Strong card. Is Darkhawk worth 3,000 tokens? I think Darkhawk is a very solid Marvel Snap card. Oh, they're playing the Death deck. Okay.
Victory.
Interesting. Is US Agent worth it now? He's a very good Marvel Snap card. Worth is pretty subjective, but you'll definitely have plenty of spots to play him. I actually completely disagree that Darkhawk should be changed after the Zabu change. The Zabu being removed actually incidentally made Darkhawk better because it made its stat line more relevant since 4 costs aren't 3 all of the time. Like, I'd like to see Werewolf brought down, but I think Darkhawk is quite good and playable as is, and I think they should leave it alone. They could have a destroy card this turn, and the Squirrel Girl unfortunately took priority for them, so could be behind. Thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. Will he play Loki with Valentina today? Nope. There are plenty of people that will put Valentina in the easy, obvious deck that she's almost certainly good in. I do not intend to spend any time doing that on this channel.
Oh, snap.
Just curious what card she'll replace. She'll replace Cable. Or Mirage if you're playing that card. I plan to start with Luke Cage Typhoid Mary. Cable is so good to disrupt combo. It's always endlessly impressive to me the fundamental misunderstanding those types of cards have. Cable, for every time you play Cable and it draws the combo deck's card and makes them less likely to have their combo, there's another game where you play Cable against the combo deck and you draw an irrelevant card and you make it more likely that they drew their combo. Cable is not a card that's disruption. Cable's a card that can provide you some snap equity by knowing like what your opponent is missing in a game, but it is not disruption shit. It's not how things work, not even remotely. Are we gonna arrow here? Yeah, maybe. Funny, honestly. Well, I guess they took priority though, huh? I'm flipping a coin versus Mockingbird. They have Orca. Oh no. Sorry. Oh yes. Thank you, U.S. agent. Appreciate you. He's such a real Marvel Snap card, chat. USA. USA. Punisher US agent, chat. Marvel Snaps Tag Team Dream Team.
Snap.
Dynamic duo. Your card borders aren't 10,000 gold. Your client has a typo in it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. This stops them from anteing us here, which is huge. They can only ante the Jean Grey path, and we have Cosmo there now. And now I can do this and prevent them from kicking the void across because I'm full here with armor. And then Spectrum should slam shut the center. Jean's such a real card, chat. Diva Charlie, thank you for the 16 buds. This deck that we're playing is very good, by the way. 2 or 3 of the cards are flex slots that change deck to deck, but this archetype in general has very good stats on untapped over pretty significant sample sizes.
Victory.
And for what it's worth, obviously an Onslaught Citadel here is a big up, but Punisher I think is slot optimal here. It's not, we're not playing this just to be cute. I think this card is generally the one you want in your 12. All right, gamers, we're gonna play some more of this when we get back. We're gonna take an ad break first. Remember, if you want to dodge ads for the next month or more on this channel, check out our sponsored game, Misty Continent, to earn a free sub to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you in 120 seconds. Punisher splits incoming. I don't think I have enough to go for inked on him. I might, actually. Maybe not. I've got 1. Oh, I have 2 splits already. I have 318. We could go for 4th split ink. We could go for 4th split ink, but I don't have enough to go for gold. I'm also out of credits, so that could be one we could move up the list. 20,000 gold. What did you miss? I always buy the discounted deal gold like bundles on the Marvel Snap site, so that way when Hoaglandia whales inevitably cheer for me to split cards, I bought it at a better rate than the base rate. Yeah, so like I bought out the Vibranium track and I bought out the $50 bundle, so that way my resources are loaded up. You hear that, bro? I bought out a bunch of stuff. Still not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. Stop putting collector's tokens in my shop. You're wasting your time. There are community sites that have the full Vibranium track offer on them. The TLDR is the current Vibranium track's a little over $200 for 19,000 credits, 13,000 gold, and then a handful of variants that are random. Jeff, those tokens are just for you. Sure are. For non-whales, what's the conversion from USD to splits? If you have boosters for the card, it's like $15 or $16 to split a card. If you're missing boosters, it's like $25 to buy the boosters and the credits. It's a lot. Since I downloaded the patch, McAfee's been shutting down Snap instantly, claiming it's a risk anybody else having that issue. I would say the number one thing I learned today is how many people apparently still use McAfee. Holy. Is it McAfee spyware? Yeah, essentially. McAfee is the virus. Phil here next turn, and then we'll play Spectrum in the middle.
Clear for takeoff.
This is better than Mojo on average. Utopia hurting us here a little bit, though. It's gonna make their what's it called bigger. Queuing up with our ongoing deck into Echo feels real bad.
Escaped.
Shouldn't put this here. Maybe I should like put this somewhere else than put Jean here, perhaps. If I just do this. Makes their Nebula bigger long term, but otherwise gets me out of my Jean path, which is nice. So the Jean Volt interaction on 6. Jean does not enable you to play into locations you wouldn't otherwise be able to play into. I think I just do this so I'm not giving them this section for free. Obviously, we're getting spacked by Echo here, but I want to make them have to compete in the center. Spectrum, please. God, we're so bad at drawing Spectrum today. They're only tying here. I think this is a fine limp. They have Jeff in hand on 6. They're required to play it into the G path. Wait, do they just fill my Mojo path? Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Oh, we also had Nebula. Okay, so they were losing here regardless. Yeah, they just shouldn't have stayed. Unironically, like, Omega Red is another one of those cards that just, like, doesn't see a ton of play in general, but is actually just, like, very good in this deck. This location could be hostile to us, which could be bad, but we're in a good spot with having Nebula into Quantum Realm and them not, so I'm gonna step here. Cable's a weird inclusion. There's kind of like a good stuff cards deck. I guess Cable's kind of a good stuff card. Kind of, sort of. Whoa, chat, there's a Spectrum in my deck. Holy. Get to Cosmo them here to make sure they don't shut us down. Woo, doggy. It's a shame we're not going to get more than 2 cubes out of this one, because we put them through the ringer. We can just put Omega Red for gold at some point, too. So. I think I have boosters for him, too. Might have to be the next one when we get credits. Spectrum, we're missing boosters on. I've resplit her a couple times and have missed. I think the deck is preying on the fact that there's not a lot of anti-ongoing in the metagame right now. I don't think that's true. I I think, did you not just watch me Cosmo and Enchantress?
Opponent snapped.
So we're also like currently up against someone playing Echo and Enchantress, yeah? Our Pro Bundle shop. Yeah, they updated that last week, I think. Echo, we can dodge a ball. Cosmo's not a bad one. Could die here, I guess. This is +5. I'm beating like a single big card. Yeah, we're beating a single big card here. You probably play Lizard if you're missing US Agent. I think that build had okay stats on Untapped. This is gonna end up over here anyways. I'm just playing it somewhere else, so that way she's less likely to get caught by an Echo. For my next trick, God, I hope the Enchantress me this turn. So again, I had to play my first card here, and then I played the Cosmo off to get pulled in because of the Echo. Slag plays for all of it really cleanly.
Knowledge is power. Enchantress.
This deck does a really good job of not having any super polarized matchups against it. Like, we just put the business to someone playing Echo and Enchantress. Being a Spectrum, the more you know emote. Could be a good one. For those of you that were here earlier, this comment's so we timed someone out for saying games couldn't exist on whales alone. You need small spenders, which isn't true. You can exist with whales and free-to-play players. You need free-to-play players for like the whales to be able to play games with, but like whales provide a majority of the income that these games make. And when I asked them to provide examples of games that couldn't exist on whales alone, I now notice that they were in my DMs saying they were going to cite Runeterra as a game that couldn't exist with only whales. And it's just like, oh my sweet summer child, come over here and sit on Papa's lap, and let me tell you about how whales and Runeterra didn't really exist compared to most of these games. Yes, Runeterra didn't make it in part because the monetization didn't leverage whales enough. They are correct that Runeterra doesn't exist anymore. Accurate. Yeah, Runeterra is a fine game. Chat, you don't gotta sell me on Runeterra being a fine game. I spent almost 6 months making Runeterra content as my primary content. I played a lot of Runeterra over the years. How did Cheerios run? It was kind of mediocre, Burgle. Just big, classic, not interactive enough, not linear enough energy. Let me go back to Magic from Runeterra. I lost an incredible amount of money trying to do Runeterra content full-time compared to other more popular, successful games. I would wager I probably put myself out somewhere in the $20,000 to $40,000 range trying to do Runeterra content compared if I would have just stuck with Magic. Well, Lizard was the one card I wanted to keep. Yeah, Runeterra was the Riot card game. Man, if we had Lizard, we hit the Stormbreaker too. just assume we can't get him here. Gamble rewarded. Gamble rewarded.
Victory.
Close. That US agent being symmetrical there. Yeah, Stormbringer's 1 power being relevant over Mjolnir. I didn't realize Runeterra is that much of a money pit on your end. It was a fun one to play and watch Royale. Yeah, like, so, you know, like, I'm doing, like, sub AFK Journey and, like, other things I've sprinkled in here and there while still doing Snap. When I tried to go in on Runeterra content, I, like, full in, stopped doing Magic and other stuff and did just Runeterra, you know, 5 to 7 hours a day. And that dropped off a lot of numbers in a lot of different ways. Nebula is actually lovely into New York. Encourage them to fill up the location they can move into later. Or else give me big 1 energy card.
Snap.
When do you decide to move on to a new game for a majority of your streaming time? When it is not financially sustainable, or I am very deeply unhappy with the gameplay being generated for a significant period of time. But those has to be true. Yeah, the reason why I moved into trying to do Runeterra stuff at all is because Magic was in a pretty terrible spot for a long time. Very unhappy with it. Terrible gamer, thank you for the 14 months. Welcome back. If Snap didn't exist, you're doing Magic right now or something else. No idea. Want to get Mobius down? They're probably a Sarah deck. Looks like the Tribunal deck here. I think it's this, and then we like Cosmo into Omega Red. Chat, I know there's some people commenting on Psychic or Soul Read or whatever in chat. The number one thing people always ask is how do you get better at Snap? This is what you need to be able to do to get better at Snap. You need to be able to look at your opponent who's played Magic and Cosmo and be able to know, oh, they're a Sarah deck, I should play Mobius on 5. Being able to understand the output range of the decks that you're playing against is huge in this game. Is a big part of what allows you to win and get better. Sorry, someone asked, did you know Marvel Snap would be sustainable when you switched to it? I didn't. But I will say that the very first time I played Marvel Snap, I went up and I said to my wife, I think this is it. I think this is the one that gets me out of Magic the Gathering. And then the rest is history now at this point.
I am Iron Man.
Wait, is that our first spotting in the wild of one of the borders, chat? That is a paid. What a Howard flex. Got that Howard border. They beat me here, yeah? I think we're good. How do they have that? This costs 500 gold. Is Man-Thing ever optimal this list over something else? So a lot of other people have been playing Man-Thing in this list. However, I think your Loki matchup is kind of mediocre, so I cut Man-Thing for Mobius, and I haven't really missed it. 900. No, I think the bronze are 500, and the gold and silver are 900.
Victory.
Yes, this patch introduced the ability to swap your splits between variants of the same card. So welcome addition. This card's absurd in this matchup, by the way. Very, very, very good.
Oh, snap.
The U.S. agent into Gene here. I need to just play a 4 this turn. I think it's Cage. I think I want Omega Red for later. It could be right to Cosmo to keep them off of Limbo, though. It keeps them off of Iron Lad this turn, too. It's just not really resource efficient. I think I want to keep them off of Limbo. They have the Howard picture too. They do. I like that they've embraced the identity.
Victory.
Yes, the split swapping added today does not allow you to like detach border and finish effects. It just lets you move them between different ones of the same character. Like if you have a gold split on one Iceman variant, you can put that gold split on any of your Icemen.
Oh, snap.
Green Mobius, I'm gonna snap. Wish you could take off the effect and just have the background. Yeah. Just having the border effect would be nice too. I would love to play cards that have a crackle with their base background. I think would look real sweet. Yes, they also updated in today's patch that you can't roll the exact same split across variants of the same character now. That was already low odds of happening, but it's guaranteed to not happen now. I think we cage... No, I'm just supposed to Cosmo again, right? Just keep them off of same as last time? Yeah, same as last time. Then we have Cosmo into US Agent into Mobius. This matchup's tough for the opponent's deck. Ooh, they got a limbo out of it. Oh, New York letting them move Magic. It is a big deal.
I am Iron Man.
So if they play Living Tribunal here, they'll have 37... And 37 gives them 12 everywhere. So this beats Living Tribunal left. No, it's 37. It's 6. Oh, they'll get Miss Marvel. Oh yeah, 47. Alright, I guess I have to leave then, yeah? Because of the Miss Marvel bonus? Do I? Seven, 14. I'm only at 15. I'm too short. I'm too short. Yeah, they'll have 16 everywhere. If I would have put Luke Cage here, I would have won, yeah? I would have been 5. I gotta retreat later. I would have had opponent also retreated! Good golly. I guess they couldn't beat Spectrum. And they're playing around Spectrum? That's funny, they couldn't beat Spectrum. Maybe they didn't have Tribunal. They could have, but they definitely their Tribunal was still losing to Spectrum. Well, I guess we are playing Jean into the Muriel. I didn't want to put Jean here, but I think we're actually gonna have to go. Now my US agent isn't in the Jean path. I wanted the US agent into Jean here. I have a lot of points from Double Spectrum, I guess. We'll see. If they snap, I probably leave. Just because I think we're so favored. I think this matchup is pretty slanted towards us, so there's no reason to take an unnecessary risk. When the locations didn't break our way. The more favored you are in a given match of Marvel Snap, the less risks you want to take when you're playing it in Conquest. And vice versa. The less favored you are, the more risks you want to take. Man-Thing is fine in this deck. There are definitely other variations of this deck that play Man-Thing. Crack it! Cash it in a shillionaire! Get that trickle-down economy in action. Nebula was actually the singular worst draw in my deck. Literally any other card would have let me double with Spectrum, and I can't play Cosmo out because, I can't play Cosmo out because then I wouldn't be able to Spectrum.
Behold my mighty hand.
Okay, so they get plus 20 on each side. Spectrum here is only 4 from this. So that's 14, 18. I'm only going to 22 here. Just have to leave again. Don't forget to DM me on Discord, Crockett, to grab your access to Beverly Shills. What if it Luke Cage last turn? I probably could have stayed because Luke Cage would have given us 13 and he would have let Spectrum get us up to 20 and then 26, 32 here. They need 2 plays to actually activate Marvel. Yeah, I think the odds of them having 2 plays are pretty high. I guess they need 2 plays. They need neither of them to be a 3 because of the magic. I don't know. Like I said, I think if the matchup was worse for us, I'd probably push and stay there. But I think when the matchup's, good for us, if the matchup was bad for us, I would stay there. I think when the matchup's good for us, we're supposed to just chill. I think Asteroid M's actually bad for us here, because it's going to put all their 3s over on the left. Which means that my Jean Grey US agent don't get to accomplish a whole lot here. They can't miss Marvel Mid, that's true. I'm probably supposed to Mobius and cut them off of Titan this turn, yeah. But I really want Ant-Man Punisher on the left. Supposed to snap there when they don't do anything too scary. This feels like we're supposed to just take this good and slow. This deck is very, very good. There are lots of metrics on Untapped that imply that this deck is quite strong. You want a Gene middle? I think that's too cute. I think US Agent is a marked power level increase, and you'll have a harder time in matchups like this one without him. I don't think the deck's unplayable without it, but it's definitely a good move verse. 0% chance we stay in here.
Escaped.
Hey, Demon Gaming, thanks for the membership on the YouTube side. Appreciate the support. Sipping by Day, thanks for the 7 months. Appreciate the primer. It's just like our match's personal feature location here. Gene middle in that last game is one of those types of things where just like genuinely you can't know if it would have been useful or not have done anything at all. Just can't know. That's kind of funny. And thing worth grabbing for 3,000 tokens. Is there a deck you want to play him in? He's not really played in any established meta decks.
Opponent snapped.
Let's play. Where were you last turn, US Agent? So if they onslaught middle, they'll go up to 25 here, and they'll go to 20 here, and then we'll be 20 to 20. Another thing we need to calculate is Tribunal on the right. They play Tribunal right. They have 13, 23, 38, 41, which is 14 everywhere. We're beating Tribunal. I think we're beating Onslaught too, right? Onslaught would be 25 here and 20 here, and we'll be 20 to 20 here. And then over here will be plus 8 to 21, which puts us 21 to 25, and then we're 13 to 4 here. Iron Man plus Mystique's probably the biggest line. Yeah, I mean, they're all in at this point, so we could just play it and watch the cards fall, but we're beating Tribunal and we're beating Onslaught. Mystique plus something else could definitely get us here.
The mystery
By my count, we beat that.
Knowledge is power.
think that was a good snap on the opponent's part. Like I said, I think this matchup is quite bad for them. They also can't Iron Man here is a good call. Yeah, I think we're actually beating Mystique Iron Man as well, right? Because Mystique would have been pulled into the center, and Iron Man here doesn't enable the Miss Marvel bonuses. They could Iron Man mid Mystique right. Would that have gotten us? Iron Man mid Mystique right? Yes, that would have gotten us. Fair. You know what else is pretty fair, chat? These adverts for everybody that hasn't supported the stream yet. And remember, if you want to dodge those adverts for the next month, check out our Misty Continent promo in chat. We'll see you in 120 seconds for one more round of Conquest with this deck, and then hopefully we'll be ready for a new card release. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. Did I have Mobius in play there too? Oh, I did have Mobius in play, didn't I? Oh, they also couldn't make that play because of Jean Grey. Yeah, okay, never mind. Chat was wrong for a couple of reasons. Oh, there was a Jean bid as well. No, but I had a Mobius out, yeah? Was Mobius out? I don't remember. Whatever, worked out. I'm gonna run to the bathroom and we're gonna stand up for the last little leg here. We had Mobius out. Okay, cool. They were 100% there with Mobius out, I think. LS, thanks for the baker's dozen. Yes, Crockett, please do. You know, DM me there. The whale video was amazing. Yeah, the editor knocked it out of the park on that one for sure. It's important that I play my second card out over here. So that way if they don't carnage this turn, I can have priority to be able to armor or Cosmo it.
Change my underwear.
Ant-Man is definitely in danger. That being said, this is a matchup that in general is going to be solidly reasonable for us. We're an armor Cosmo deck. Jean Grey also very good in this matchup, so we're just not going to take any risks in games where we don't have our good card set up. Unfortunate draw. Mobius would have blocked death. Yeah, I suppose that's a good call.
What a game!
Clear for takeoff.
Yeah, I should have played Mobius instead of Cage. Decent game, Dave. Do I just do this now? I think so, yeah. Because Punisher's 3-7 plus another 4 for Ant-Man. And then Mobius keeps him honest on the left. And if they play into the right, my mojo gets bigger. Spectrum middle is more. So Spectrum is 2 more in the middle, but doesn't put any points on the left. Does this beat Death in the middle? This is... their death would put them to 18. This puts me to 14, 18. Agent doesn't shrink death, that's true. It'd be 21 here. Maybe it is just this. Fairly bang, cool.
Victory.
Yeah, death wins the right if we don't Spectrum. If I'd have known we were going to catch the Killmonger that turn, we obviously would have snapped them, but I couldn't know we were going to catch the Killmonger with the Cosmo on 5. So they didn't get any reasonable equity out of that game. You can DM me a screenshot on Twitch, Twitter, or Discord. If you're using Twitch, you'll need to upload it to an image sharing site like Imgur, or use Google Drive and make sure your file is publicly available. Turn 1 play is solid for us. I think the new borders are incredibly expensive and will not be a process that I am engaging with. I'm someone who really enjoys all of my cards looking incredibly uniform, meaning if I buy 1 gold border, I would need to have all of them, and it's just too much money to have all of them be gold bordered. It's loosely 3,000 USD to gold border your entire collection. That's just not tenable. I think the gold and silver and bronze borders look fine. They just don't look $3,000 fine.
Victory.
Until the Hogo Whales, but honestly, I wouldn't even take bits. I wouldn't even take bits to get single ones, right? Because again, like, it's just like, it kills the uniformity. Like, it's something that would have to be all or none, and it's too expensive to have them all, so I'll just do none. Like, I think they're fine. I think I look at them and I'm like, yeah, these are reasonable, but they're not, like, so reasonable that, like, they're not enough better for me to want to spend anything on them. Yeah, they're probably something that's more appealing to someone who's a single deck gamer, is a good shout. It has more appeal. Alright, and for my next trick, I'd probably pay $100 or north of it to unlock a border for all of my cards. I drop 8,000 gold. I think 8,000 gold I'd snap off. I'd snap off gold borders for everything.
Victory.
Yeah, I agree, Kraken. Somewhere in the 8 to 10,000 gold range, I think I snap it and don't think twice. I'll be curious to see if their pricing ends up changing. Yeah, unironically, I wouldn't be displeased if they end up flopping. I don't know. I assume, like everything else in these games, there's gonna be enough Krakens and whales and stuff that, like, those things end up taking off despite that. There's definitely a line, right? Because, like, a lot of the things, like, even when they're expensive, I still buy them, and these are something they priced out of my range, so that could be over the line for a lot of people. Opponent's a trooper, chat. They're plugging through here. This is one of the reasons why this deck is good, right? Like, I don't know that this deck has any genuinely terrible matchups. Like, you even have play into things that are doing stuff like, you even have play into decks like, that are playing Enchantress and stuff. And this deck is like, has matchups that are polarized in its favor. That's really where you want to be in life. You want a deck that, like, has matchups where, like, okay, you sign up for that matchup and then you auto win it, but you also don't have anything that's just like, oh, I just lose here because of the matchup we're playing. How would you decide what your next full-time streaming game would be? I mean, given the choice of things. Oh, you know what? I should actually put the US agent here. Mobius here. Given the choice of things, my move for content creator future longevity would be to not be a purely one game streamer. All things equal. I plan to dip into Pokemon Pocket this year when it releases, and I plan to check out Marvel Rivals. And, like, we've been tinkering with AFK Journey, and I really like Marvel Snap still. I think Second Dinner's making a ton of great choices, and I think the game has a lot of longevity to it. But I think for my personal general enjoyment of everything and content, I would love it if I could have a strong audience in 2 or 3 games and do. I don't even necessarily want to be full variety, but I would love if I could have more than one lifestyle game and split my 6 to 8 hour day across a couple of different things. I'm the type of person that, like, I really enjoy lifestyle games and optimizing and thinking about getting good at one thing and getting good at a specific thing, but doing that in a couple of things at once would be nice from a content perspective, I think. What's your win rate with this deck? I mean, one of the things you need to understand is that any sample size that myself or any other content creator is generating with a deck is not relevant. So I think we won every Conquest match with this deck during today, but that's not a relevant sample size. It's not really meaningful. What I will tell you that's meaningful is this archetype has probably thousands of games logged at this point with very, very strong metrics. I am very confident that this deck is competitive. in a few different iterations. Look at the top 50% here. So we can see here, looking at gene spectrum iterations. This one is a different deck. Let's exclude Sarah. But like looking at all of these are pretty close to what we were playing here. And not all of them have US Agent. You can sub Blizzard and still have good stats. But I think this deck does exactly what you want to be doing in Marvel Snap. It has matchups where when you queue into them like Destroy or Living Tribunal, they're polarized in your favor. But at the same time, I don't think there's any matchups where you just auto lose them. I will say one thing that I was very happy with that I would not go back to is you see all of these lists are playing Man-Thing. That was what the original iteration of this deck are doing. After playing that last set, I feel pretty confident in saying that Mobius is probably better than Man-Thing. We played into some decks doing smaller things, and Mobius felt really solid there. Specifically, the build of this deck without Mobius has a tougher Loki matchup because the Loki deck can take your Luke Cage. And I think having Mobius to slow down the Loki deck's a big deal. It's also fun that like we finally have a deck in Marvel Snap where Punisher is slot optimal. Like this card's never been endgame competitively playable before, and he definitely should be in this deck. So yeah, that one felt really good. I think what are our series 4 and 5 cards? Jean is not optional for this deck. But I also, unless you're someone that has a lot of resources, I don't think this card is good enough that I can tell you, yes, you should spend tokens on her. US Agent, you could do without. And this is the awkward thing about the Marvel Snap economy. I think US Agent is actually a better card than Jean Grey generically, but this deck can't function without Jean, and it can function without US Agent. Which is why, like, you know, people always ask, like, okay, what should I be spending my resources on? And it's like, well, it depends, right? Like, between these two cards, do you want the better card? I think US Agent's the better card. Do you want to play this deck? In this deck, you can substitute Agent, but if you're missing Jean, this deck's a lot worse. Jean Grey makes Punisher better. Jean Grey makes Cosmo Armor better. Jean Grey makes Nebula Mojo better. Jean Grey also makes US Agent better. Yeah, you often put US Agent into the Jean path of this deck. I think if you're missing him, you definitely want to play a different 2 energy card. Lizard's probably the pick. You just want to play on curve early. You gotta make sure you're playing things to start. No, you want ongoing cards, Jen. So your Spectrum can have lots of points.